this all makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, I don't care. That's fine. Whatever. I think that everyone has to find their own path in every life that they live, and whatever makes sense to them makes sense to them. That's the whole point of being a human being, is searching and trying to find your own answers, right? Toby2 wanted to know, do you believe in soulmates? Yeah, yes, I definitely do. In fact, I believe in something even more than soulmates. I think, I believe in something called soul families, or spirit families. To explain spirit families, I think I have to go into the fact that I also believe in reincarnation, because that's kind of the concept. They're joined together. I believe that not only when we die are we reborn into another life, but I believe that there's a purpose for it, that there's a reason. The reason that we're reborn and that we live many different lives in many different countries, many different social class, genders, all that stuff. I think that the reason for it is because our spirits have to know every experience possible in order to learn, and in order for that to happen, we have to learn as much as we possibly can before we can know everything. And then when our spirit has experienced everything and has learned everything that it needs to learn, that our spirits, I guess, ascend, that they go into what you might call heaven. I don't think you earn heaven in just one lifetime. I think that's something that you work on for many, 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 many lives. And I think that there are spirits that are interconnected that you run into over and over over in many different lives. Like in one lifetime they might be your brother, and in the next lifetime they might be your mother. In the next lifetime they might be a friend. In the next lifetime you might not even get to see them at all because they're in China and you're in Europe. And then in the next lifetime you get to have them as your pet dog. You know, like that. It's, you just run into these same souls over and over and over. And I think that those are connected, that they're drawn to each other. That I think the energies that keep us alive and give us the power of living, of having a soul in the first place, I think it's all connected. And I think that sometimes the spirits intermingle. I think that spirits are some that are interconnected, that when we die, a piece of us goes into, you know, other people, which is, you know, when they say, oh, they're not dead, they're with you forever in your heart. I think that part of that's true because, you know, for instance, you know, I don't know, part of their life experience and part of their energy goes into you. And I think that that's what keeps certain spirits connected. And I think that if something wasn't very connected to you, or their spirit doesn't, you know, enter, like a little piece of their energy doesn't go into your body, then maybe they weren't in your spirit family, you know? Because I think that you are close to some people for just one lifetime and then you never see them again. And that does happen too. I mean, there's so many spirits, there's so many souls in the universe that the chances of you actually seeing every single one that you see in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, it's not going to happen. But yeah, I think that there are ones that just recurrent, over and over and over, belong together. I think that's why when you meet somebody, that's the whole concept of love at first sight is very real because, for instance, when I first met my wife, Liz, we definitely had love at first sight. I didn't even speak to her yet. I just saw her and I felt it. I felt in my soul this connection to her, like, oh my God, there she is. There's someone I'm supposed to know, someone I'm supposed to have in my life, and I felt it, and she felt it too. And neither of us said anything about it because we felt like, oh, that's kind of creepy. Maybe I'm a psycho. I don't want to tell this person, hey, we're meant to be, because that sounds like a cheesy bar line, right? But I don't know. I think that sometimes when you meet somebody and you feel an instant connection, it's because your soul remembers that soul. And, you know, they're like, oh my God, your soul knows that you're connected to this person. Whether or not you do, you know, you'll figure it out. I think that it's definitely possible for you to have more than one soulmate in your life, because obviously there's more than one person in your soul family. I think that, yes, there are soulmates that are pets. Yes, there are soulmates that are friends. I have several friends that I definitely believe were friends of mine or in my family or something along those lines in past lives. Definitely were connected to me. That I felt connected to them the second that I met them, the second we started talking. It was like pieces fell into place, you know? I think that's why it's possible for people to sometimes be polyamorous. There's people that have really large spirit families and they just feel love for so many different people. I'm monogamous in this lifetime, so I don't really understand the polyamorous lifestyle, but I believe it definitely is valid. I think perhaps that's why we have so many different lifestyles. You know, there's transgender, there's gay, there's lesbian and straight and bisexual. I think that has to do with not only the life that the lessons that we're supposed to learn in that lifetime in order to get closer to ascension, but also that it has to do with the fact that maybe our soulmate, the person that we're supposed to spend our life with that time, maybe is the same gender as we are, or is the opposite gender, or maybe they're transgender in this lifetime, you know, because I think that the spirit families were supposed to teach each other and help each other get to ascension, because no spirit can actually do it by themselves. Also, I think that's why so many people in this world feel lost and alone and don't even believe in love, because I believe that maybe one of the lessons that our spirit is supposed to learn along the pathway to enlightenment is how to be alone and how to exist without love and without a connection. And in that, I think that that's part of the journey of learning and growing as a spirit, is having to be separated from your spirit family. I think that there are people who their entire spirit family is on the other side of the planet, or maybe isn't even alive during this generation of life. Maybe they're not even there. Maybe they're withholding themselves. I think that's, let's talk about death for a second. I think that illness and death is part of the lesson that we have to learn, not only how to do it ourselves, but also how to deal with people that we love and feel connected to going through it. And I think that sometimes, you know how death feels sadder for one person than it does for another person? I think that's because sometimes, you know, it's because that person is definitely leaving for good, that soul has reached ascension. You know how sometimes there's a spirit that just, you know, a person in your life that feels like they have, you know, they know everything, like they're perfect, they're just so wonderful. You almost think of them like an angel in your mind. I think that's a soul that has reached ascension. Perfect example of that is my cousin Sarah. I believe that she was given just one last lifetime on this earth to help us all learn something about life. I know that simply having her in my life completely changed and altered my being and who I am, and how I live my life. I think that was her purpose in that life, was to teach the rest of her spirit family a little bit of a lesson and help them on their way. And that was her last act, in that when she passed away, she went to ascended into heaven, or whatever you want to call it. And I believe that we're not going to see her again until we reach that same state, which I think I'm several lifetimes away from actually reaching. I think that's why it felt sadder when she passed away, because I knew, or my spirit knew, that she was leaving for a long time and going to a different place and not going to be here. But Toby, great topic. Hopefully it didn't make you think that I'm completely insane or nuts. This is something that I've thought many, many, many years about very intensely, and it's something I could talk about for a lot longer than 10 minutes. Well, I love you guys. Mwah. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.